is up? Welcome to the Nightly Grind podcast episode. Do you guys know what episode we're on?
I have no idea.
Do you have any
What's
clue?
it?
It is. It is
A number.
8.
It's like 5.
It is our 8th podcast together,
Oh,
and it doesn't
holy
feel like
shit.
that many. Not including the two end of month podcasts that we've done. So yeah, tonight our topic is going to be console gaming. So yeah.
You forgot the introduction.
Oh, anyway, I'm Ninja. I'm Ninja.
I'm Shadow.
I'm Outlaw.
T-Bone. Tortle.
I'm Benthans.
And what is this again? Are we doing a podcast or something? I have no clue.
Together we're the three amigos.
Yes.
Now there's 6 of us though.
We can't count.
Okay. So
3v3 amigos, bruh.
My side's better than your side.
I'm done. I quit.
You can't be done. We didn't even start yet.
And I'm back. All right. So, yeah, tonight our topic is going to be consoles. Who here owns a console, as far as new gen, old gen, whatever it may be?
Torn, you had it.
I know you got a Nintendo and an Atari somewhere, Torn.
Dude, I got a Nintendo in the back porch with a big giant screen TV.
I thought you almost said I got a Nintendo in the back door.
Ew.
Me either.
Wow.
I'm not even going to say that joke. You can't even bait me into that joke tonight.
Wow.
So,
No, I do. I got a Nintendo out back.
I will say I technically own a console. I have an Amazon Fire TV.
That's not
Wow.
a console.
Console. That's not a console.
It has games on it.
It's not a console.
Technically on a console, I have a cell phone.
It's got that game that's not Frogger. It's called
Angry Birds.
It has Minecraft.
Toaster.
On it.
Called like Toady.
It has cell phone.
it's like Toady yeah, or
It
something
has,
like that.
Minecraft. It has. I think you can buy one of the.
It doesn't count, dude.
Knights of the Old Republic on there.
It's an HDMI stick. You slap on the back.
No, it's the full one.
You got the fire with the
How
action.
about we continue?
Yeah.
Move away from
So,
the.
We're
We're still talking about consoles, Benton.
So who has what?
Jeez, yeah, Shadow, what do you have?
Ah, dear God. I got a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4. I had an Xbox, but I threw it out like 2 weeks ago because I hate Xbox.
What?
What? It was broken. I hit it with a hammer.
Oh, well, all right.
Did you go full Office Space on it? Did you take it out and listen to gangster rap?
No, I had a Tenor 1360, and
Damn, it feels good to be a
it was giving me the red ring of death now and then, so I stopped using it.
I
and,
did that to a Logitech mouse once. I took it outside and did it gangster style on the back patio.
and then light it on fire afterwards.
Yeah. So, I mean, I one of the hard drives I have in my computer now is actually the hard drive from the 360 because I literally ripped apart the hard drive thing and just took the hard drive out of it. So
That's what I would do.
So, I own a PS1, which is old school, and a Sega Genesis to myself. But I have one new console, and I want you guys to kind of guess what I have. That those of you that don't personally know me,
Wii
as
U.
well.
Wait. Can you give me a year, a before or after year?
2 years, 4 years ago. I don't know. It was.
Nintendo 3DS?
It's recent.
then it's got to be the Nintendo.
Benton's got
Wii
it.
U.
So,
Oh, you got a 3DS? That's
like
not a
going off
console.
topic, but
It's
is
not a
that
console.
or is that a handheld?
It's a handheld, totally different fucking thing.
It's
it's
a
a
console.
handheld console.
It is a console, but
When you search,
Well, can't you,
I'm
can't
gonna
you
Google
play
that.
the 3DS on the Wii, though? Or on the Wii U or whatever?
No.
I thought you did. No, whatever.
So,
you
Yeah.
can tell we fucking.
embarrassing story. I bought this game.
Oh, it is.
I bought the DS solely for Pokemon because yes, I do play Pokemon still.
There's nothing
Name
bad
that
about
Pokemon.
It's
Dragonite.
anybody who
Yep.
disses Pokemon and is considers himself a gamer He has
Oh,
never played Pokemon.
so
That's all I gotta say about that.
yeah.
Do what?
I said anybody who considers themselves a gamer and has not played Pokemon and bashes Pokemon has not played Pokemon, because Pokemon is just so stupidly simple that it's addicting.
I played Pokemon. I played
Yeah.
Pokemon
That's
Yellow.
not
That's
even-
about it, though.
I still play Pokemon.
Have you ever played Pokemon, Torn?
Shit.
Have you ever played Pokemon, Torn?
I've played
Of course, but
Pokemon.
that's not the point.
They're all the same.
That's it's just I played it a couple times. I wasn't a hardcore Pokemon though. That's like
See, now,
I
now
was-
he's fucking in denial. Now he's
I
like,
was-
he's got to find
I
out
was
about the
like-
fact I have like red, blue, and green backs.
dude,
Yeah.
I was going to parties and like I was way into vagina by the time Pokemon came.
No. He was probably like,
You were married
you
with
want to
kids
trade my
and
Bulbasaur?
I was go on.
I'll trade you my Bulbasaur for your Charmander.
I was playing video games while you guys were still crapping in your diapers.
So anyway, I have the 3DS. Really, that's my only newer console because of Pokemon and Smash Bros. JT.
I'm the. Ooh.
All right, so what I currently own is a Sega Genesis and an original Xbox, Nintendo Wii, and I might have like one or two that are in my basement, like Nintendo and stuff like that. But I had Pokemon Yellow because my other brothers had Pokemon Red and Blue, so I had to be the odd one.
Oh, I forgot about one, but I'm gonna take a second. Here, go ahead, Bone.
I've previously owned. I had a Jaguar 64. Jaguar.
Wow.
Jaguar.
Wow.
Or seen one.
Oh,
You also have a
I did
Commodore.
own a Jaguar at one point in time.
Did you have a Commodore?
Jaguar.
A Jaguar. We had a Commodore 64 in the house.
Yeah.
Had a Nintendo. Xbox original.
Yeah, you
PS2.
don't even act like you're not an Xbox player, man.
I had
You
an
used to- you used to-
Xbox. I had an Xbox 360. I never bought
have
that
the-
You were a traitor. You wouldn't play Call of Duty on Xbox.
because I was at college at the time, and at that time we couldn't. I didn't have the computer to run it, so I had an Xbox to be able to play online, and then that's how it was. I
Hey, Bone,
enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I
What do
enjoyed
you
it.
have now? What do you have now,
I
console
have
wise?
nothing. I have an Amazon
Oh.
Fire TV.
Oh hell.
Wait, that's an Atari. Is
I
that
had a
2600?
Yeah.
That's a
That's a knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my first console was Pong. It wasn't Atari. It wasn't a Nintendo. It was Pong. The
This is,
only thing it
But
did,
did you
was
own the
Pong.
Jaguar? Did you own a Jaguar?
you turned it on. I swear this thing, you had a crank on the side. It was that old. It was massive. It was like, I don't know. It was massive. It was
We
very,
walked uphill 2 ways to the store.
Well, we're going to talk about that, Tord. Remember how you had the old connectors where you actually had the rabbit connectors to plug into the back, or the
you remember Fox viewing positions where you had to like hold the rabbit ears out in certain so you could see Married with Children on Sunday night? You guys don't even know, dude.
I
Tinfoil.
lost it there. It's like
Tinfoil. I had to do tinfoil.
Oh, you bored after Auto 2 came around. You guys all suck.
We had
Is it my turn?
No, wait, I never said what one. All right, I had Pong, I had Atari, I had Sega, I had. Well, yeah, come on.
we're talking about.
I got a
Added
Nintendo,
the past,
original
man.
Nintendo downstairs. I got a Super Nintendo outside. I got Xbox 360, PS3.
Gotta look behind.
Shit.
We're talking about systems we've owned. I've Nintendo, Sega, Sega CD. I never really liked Nintendo consoles much. I have a Dreamcast somewhere.
Dreamcast. I have a Dreamcast.
PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. I got a Game Boy somewhere, which is really handy when the power goes out.
I got
Yeah.
a little yellow Game Boy.
Is it my turn now? Can I go?
Yes, Spinthins, what do you have?
Okay. This is what I currently own that's sitting in my room as I speak. Let's start with Sony first. I have a PS1, the original fat one, not that slim thing. I have a PS2, fat one. I have a PS3, a
A
slim
fat
one.
one?
No, Slim, sadly.
Oh, what? Your PS is one on a diet,
Actually,
man.
the PS3 one is like in that hybrid stage where it's still kind of fat, but it lost a little weight before it went into that really slim state. So it's like a
So it's like just started the gym, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like it already lost the weight, but it's putting it back on. Kind of.
yeah, kind of like that. There we go. Then I have a PS4. Then let's see, I have a PSP 2000 version and a PSP 3000 version. I have a new Nintendo 3DS. That's on my only. Oh no, I have a Game Boy Advance SP.
Oh, I have a Game Boy Cube that's chipped for Japanese play.
Yeah, I have an Xbox 360 and I have an Xbone. I think that's it. No, I have a PS Vita.
A Huda?
Jesus Christ, man.
A Vita.
Yeah, where do you find time to play any of these?
Whenever I want.
How do you find all the time to keep those ladies happy?
I got
You know,
I got Gamecast movie. Anybody?
Gamecast.
Gamecast.
Gamecast?
Ooh, and I have a laptop that I'm probably gonna put the Steam OS, which I guess Steam OS is gonna be console.
Well, they'll have the Steam machines.
Yeah, well,
No.
Wait, can you
If
build
I
one?
have a computer. I have a Steam machine. Why the fuck would I need to buy a console?
it's not a Steam machine unless it has Steam
Build your
OS.
like a little Linux box, right? And
That's what it is. It's a
load
Linux
Steam
box.
OS.
They're running.
That's for people
Actually,
who play
they have a lot more games, but that's off topic now. Ninja, next.
Still a console.
Oh,
Well, we're not on topic. Let's
Let's go ahead and do this. It's not on our list of things to talk about, but out of the consoles that you've owned so far, what has been your all-time favorite?
And your favorite game on that console.
PS1.
That's difficult.
Let's go in order. Shadow.
Why do I gotta go first? Probably the Sega, man. I mean, shit. Some of the old classic games for Sega, man, were fucking fantastic.
Genesis?
Yeah, Sega Genesis.
Shit, I remember when Mortal Kombat came out for Genesis.
That's back in the day with Kyo games. I fucking love those damn things for strategy and stuff.
Any of the console-defining games, Xbox is going to be Halo. Nintendo, Halo is
You're talking about like games that like
For you? Is that what you're saying?
like
for everybody. I enjoy
Halo sucked. Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of games that I love on the console. I'm going to tell
I
you.
have a view of Halo that a lot of people didn't get because I got to play it on a network at college. So I got to play with tons of other people at the same time. So it's a completely different game than most people playing it single player or 4-player split screen.
If I was going to go Sega Genesis, PTO, which is a game nobody's heard of, Pacific Theater of Operations, great fucking game.
Yeah, never heard of it.
PlayStation, probably like the Resident Evil games, just because they were fantastic back in the day for 1 through 3.
No,
PlayStation 2, Demon Souls, without a doubt. PlayStation 3.
We're saying one favorite though. Do you have to pick one?
You have one system and one game for that system.
Yeah,
Narrow it down.
Sega, fucking PTO.
Next.
See,
And then
this is where I have a really hard time because it's kind of a tie between Sega Genesis and PS1. And I would say
There's too many fucking games. That's the problem. Even now, I'm thinking of more like Metal Gear Solid fucking games and stuff like that. You know,
Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid was good.
actually that Metal Gear Solid for PS1 was my favorite for PS1.
yeah, that was my favorite.
Genesis, we had way too many fucking games to really. I loved all of them. I would switch between games like every hour, so when I was playing. So, JT.
So, my favorite console had to be Sega Genesis, and I can still rock out on Sega Genesis every day, any day.
NBA
But I don't chaos.
Jam.
But I would say probably the games I played the most. I don't have a single favorite because I played so many freaking Sega games. It's ridiculous. But I would either have to go Streets of Rage or Gunstar Heroes or Captain America. Those are the three I probably played the most.
Boom.
Probably say Nintendo Super Mario Brothers 2 or Xbox 360 Call of Duty 4. Modern Warfare, one of the greatest shooting games of all time.
Modern Warfare 4, or no, yeah.
Call of Duty
Modern
COD
Warfare.
4,
Yeah, one of the greatest shooting games of all time.
COD
Or
4.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Altered Beast was a very
How Super Mario Bros.
Or Nintendo Super Mario Brothers.
You
3.
gotta pick one.
It's one of the.
It's too fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
I used to
I
take off
mine.
work to play.
Again, these are games that define the console. Super Mario Brothers 3 is Nintendo Entertainment Center, Nintendo Entertainment System.
So
Anybody who had an NES played Super Mario Brothers 3 and loved it.
this will make Torn
I
probably
played
feel
Super Mario Bros. Just the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, but 3 was way better.
So
Oh, dude,
this will-
come on.
3
probably make-
rocks
No
it.
Mario
make
Kart.
Torn-
No Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Hey,
nice,
no Mario
man.
Kart.
See, but like we're talking about the game that defined the system.
I'd say
No, we're talking about our
Three
favorite game.
Three defines the
Our
system.
favorite game for that system, you pick one.
Yeah, we're not talking about genre defining, like console defining, whatever you want to call it.
So I
Yeah.
totally skipped school to play Halo 3 when it first came out.
Wait, your turn's already over.
I know.
I'm
Just
telling
had to throw
you.
that in there. Had to make Torn feel old.
You're getting in trouble.
Torn, your
You know,
turn.
the first game I ever really got crazy into, and I mean like not skip school, kind of crazy because I get my ass beat, but was Tenchu for PlayStation.
Tenchu Stealth
Tenchu.
Assassin.
I
Nice.
played that game, but like I would just not eat, and I really love to eat, but I would go without eating. I would just like zone out completely and ignore everything else.
That's it. Oh my god, you have it!
Nice.
I also have Tenchu too. I picked
That
this
is
up.
awesome. That is awesome right there.
Found this at a flea market. I'm like, I'm buying this.
You remember the first PlayStation? You get it, and then you'd have to get like the big round sticker that you wanted for it. They had like all those round stickers. Does anybody remember that?
I remember the first.
Anybody?
Remember Type 1 PlayStations that could play
Lid
Japanese games
stickers?
setting on fire because if you put them on a
remember
carpet,
those. I
they
never
burn up.
got one, but I'm like, Mom, can I get one? No.
A sticker for your console, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the PlayStation.
but like a skin.
Remember it had a
Yeah.
lid that opened up? They had these lid stickers, these round lid stickers, and you could get them for all different things.
I remember for the Xbox, you could get them too.
Oh my gosh, you youngins.
I remember getting.
It would go right here.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
Open that up real quick, Bethans.
Back when you could.
Is that a Type 1?
Yeah,
That's the original T. Yeah, it's the original.
that's Type 1. Look at that. Look at that.
Still
My
works. It still works.
My goodness.
This
Uh,
thing has
that's-
Dude, I used to go down to the basement and get my NES, my original E NES.
Benthans, your favorites.
my favorite. Let's see. I
Just
have
a
it
chair.
somewhere laying around.
It is a Type
Here.
1. Because this is a
Boom.
Type 1.
Star Ocean. Star Ocean.
Star Ocean.
The second story on the PS1. I've spent hours on it.
This is actually a Type 1 too, because this has the old serial ATA ports on it as well. These are the
Wow.
ones you can boot
For your
Japanese
Game
games.
Shark.
Well, these are the ones you can boot Japanese games on by doing the disc switch. So
I have
Gotta
the
drag
port. I
a
just
whole
can't
server
open it
around
right now. I have the port. It's just not opening. So. You know, I put many hours into Star Ocean, the second story on the PS1. It's my honestly all-time favorite game. I know Square bought it and everything, but it's still. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Final Fantasy is great. I actually started with Final Fantasy. Friends showed me Star Ocean.
you know they remade that on the PlayStation 2 or 3, right?
No, they didn't remake it. They remastered it on the PSP, and I have both copies. I have the. I do.
Vintage is our go-to for.
They're remaking Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, remaking. That's a whole different story. We're not going into that.
No.
Anyhow, but hey, Torn,
It's also
what
called
you're talking about
Different.
here?
I
There
don't
it
have
is.
one of
Yeah, I got one of those. Does anybody have to wedge the little piece of paper or something in there to get it to work?
I haven't tested mine yet.
Blow in the cartridge.
Cartridge. Yep.
Okay, so out of the new we'll say TV consoles that are out. So let's say PS4, the Xbone, or the Wii U. Have you guys tried any of them? Who don't own them?
Oh,
You say X-Bone?
Yeah.
Xbone.
I literally.
What is that for
have
Xbox
not
One?
tried it.
Well, yeah, you remove the
Yeah.
X and put the NE.
I have not tried any of the top 3 that are out now, like the newest versions of either 3.
Yeah.
Last one I've tried is 360.
I've played 2 games on the PS4, which were PT and The Last of Us, which are exclusive. So that's the only reason that I've played them, and it was on a friend's. Not worth justifying a purchase of a PS4, in my opinion.
Then why do you own one?
I don't.
I thought you said you did.
No.
We just said you tried
He
it.
has PS2.
But yeah, I've tried the Xbox One. A friend has it. PS4, a friend has it. If I were to buy a console today, if I didn't have a PC, it would most likely be a Wii U, because there are more games that I would like to play that are exclusive for the Wii U than PS4 or Xbox.
See, I was actually thinking about this the other day because I was like, man, I haven't console games since I started PC gaming with you guys. And the only reason I would go back to console gaming would be to get games that I've already played, which would be the Resident Evil series. So I would pick up like a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 just to download them on the PlayStation
They're
Network.
called emulators.
Oh,
you
I
can
have
get them
emulators.
on the PC.
I have emulators, but it's not always the same because you got to map out buttons, and I'm playing it on an Xbox controller. But then I also thought about going to one of the used game stores and buying a PlayStation 1 and buying them all over, but they're still like $40 a game if you want to.
They're going down in price again.
So, anybody else have a comment?
I have a comment. I own both of them, but I'm just gonna more go on the aspect of, since I've played. Well, I haven't played a Wii U, so I can't really comment on that. But honestly, playing on both the Xbone and the PS4, I gotta side with Sony on it. The Sony's layout is smooth. It feels like their games load up a little bit faster than the Xbox One. And also, Xbox One, you have to actually download and install the game before you can play it. PS4, you put it in and you can play it automatically. It basically installs in the background. So, I'm going to go with Sony. PS4 is my choice of console right now. I play it more than the Xbone.
Dude, it would literally gather dust while I played all the no game Tenchu and shit that you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I jump around.
So those of you who have tried them or haven't tried them, if we weren't PC junkies like we are, and we all know it, if you had to own one console, what would it be?
One console in general, or one new school console?
We'll go with new school.
I'd say Wii U. Because
I'm right there with you.
Wii U, just because I use the PC for anything that's worth a shit. So if I'm gonna play something, it's gonna be like a Mario game or something like that.
I'd probably go with the Wii U just because it's something that Piper would be able to play soon. She's getting to that point where she can remember. But a PS4, I think, especially if they ever ported The Last of Us over.
Which I already have.
They did.
They have already
Remastered and
remastered or something. Yeah, whatever. I know they're coming out with a second one too, but that's a
I
game.
love it when they get to that age where they throw their first controller through the TV.
I would probably go with PlayStation 4 just because the PlayStation Network and the ability to get old games. Otherwise, I'm an Xbox fanboy because of the games on Xbox I thought were much better.
Shadow.
PlayStation 4, better games overall.
Well, you already have a PS4.
Yeah, I know. I'd just saying. I bought the PlayStation 4 on spontaneous. I just bought the PlayStation 4. So, I mean, but PlayStation 4 is a better overall style of games. I'm amazed that JT would even remotely suggest going with an Xbox, since he's such a fucking hardcore Dark Souls fan. And that's where you want to play it on PlayStation 4, because Bloodborne, which is the studio that originally made
True.
the Demon Souls, it's a
Bloodborne, I thought, was by the Dark Souls people.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Bloodborne was there's another game that came out too, and it just either way, it's the aspect is that generally speaking, in my opinion, PlayStation has a better. Sony has always had a better library of games. Xbox has some big games, but they're primarily in the first-person shooter. Sony's got a better overall selection.
Sony starts off simple, but by the end of the life cycle of whatever the console is, they are just kicking ass game after game after game.
Well, it's not even just like American-based games. It's also they have
Japanese.
all the good Japanese ones that people like never heard of, and they try it out. It's like, this is amazing.
But the thing with that is it's very cliche. You either if you know the games and you love them, or you've never fucking heard of them and you're probably never gonna play them because you look at them and they go, "What the fuck is this?" I mean, if like Disgaea is probably one of the best fucking like RPGs that's come out in a
It's
long
so weird.
time. And
I'm playing it on my
nobody
Vita.
knows it unless you're a fucking hardcore fan. So
It's so weird. I'm playing it on my Vita. It was one of the free games for the Vita,
you just played it, dude. The games are fantastic.
and it's just so bizarre. I don't know. Like this one is like an actual tactical move.
Yeah, it's a Laharl, Fionn, freaking Etna. I mean, they're
Well,
fantastic.
it's a different story base, but
Yeah.
it's still the Disgaea series, and it's just so weird and bizarre, especially the penguins.
So you have everyone else is like, what the fuck are they talking about? But yeah,
Don't
you get a better. I'm not knocking Xbox, but Xbox generally has more arcadey, crappy American type games, which are not necessarily bad, but it's just
I'll go
There's
with
a lot of
arcadey,
those.
but I wouldn't really say like crappy
They
American.
pump out a lot of shit titles in between.
everybody pumps out a lot of shit titles though.
I don't know. I know Jet Set Radio Future was more, I think, on the Dreamcast, if I'm correct here.
It was the Sega title. It was originally a Dreamcast
Yeah,
title.
but it came back as a like if you buy an Xbox, you get 2 games, and I put hours into that game. It was awesome.
I just said, if I was to sit down and name Xbox games, the majority of the games that I would name is pretty much what Bones already talked about with like Halo, Call of Duty. I can't think of any other really exclusive game that made me go, I want to buy an Xbox. But I could sit there and go through a ton of fucking games for PlayStation, whether
Final
it's Metal Gear
Fantasy,
Solid.
Spark, Metal
Final
Gear.
Fantasy, not so much anymore. But you got to realize a lot of these games are now coming out for for multi-platforms.
Yeah.
A
So,
lot of them are still though like timed exclusive.
well, yeah, that's something they sign contracts with. But so it has to like stay on this
Square Enix.
console but Naughty Dog alone, between like Drake's Fort or Uncharted or whatever. God, I can't think of it.
Jack and Dexter.
But it's just like there's a lot of major game titles that come out for Sony only, and they're fantastic games.
Fire the
can't
Dragon,
think of
Crash
the same-
Bandicoot.
Yeah. When you think of Xbox, you think of Halo
When you think of PlayStation, you
And
think
Gears of War.
and Gears of War. Yeah, that's like the only 2 real things that pop into my mind.
I've never played Gears of War.
I love Gears of War, man. That was
Okay,
awesome.
I think we should try and get on to another topic.
So this one, I think Benthans will be able to kind of you'll be able to put in your 2 cents a little bit more than anybody else. But I know what are the perks to consoles is the question. But I know for me it would be mobility for at least handhelds.
Couch gaming too. There's something to be said to be able to sit on your couch and play a game rather than sitting at
True.
I do like that. It also it's nice when before going to bed, like I could plop in a disc and start playing a game. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. Minimize the game, just like get to a save point, of course, and save it. Minimize it. Throw Netflix on. Put my TV on a sleep timer. Pass out. Done. Like I can't really do that on a computer. Like I could if I set my computer up to my TV and all that fun stuff, but
It takes a lot more work to get it that
yeah.
way.
And also the computer will need to have it as a main display. So if I have it as a extended, it's not going to detect it as the main screen anyhow. So
I don't know. To me, the benefit of a console game, it depends on what type of games you like and what you're like. If you're in for me, PC gaming is a lot more about group gaming and multiplayer gaming. I mean, console gaming has that with like the fact that almost, the two main systems, even the Wii, they're really pushing like multiplayer aspect too. But to me, PCs where multiplayer is that. If you like playing just games by yourself, RPGs in particular, consoles are a better choice just because you have more games that are geared towards one player story pushed games.
Mhm.
You have that on PC too, but you have way more depth on console
Some of
than
the
you
better-
do.
But here's the thing, though. Like a lot of the companies, especially since the Xbox One and the PS4, since they're on the basically almost like a same architect as the computer, that it's easier to build for PC now instead of like
It's
porting
been-
console. Yes, I know where
That's
you're.
since Xbox. So
I
yeah.
know where that's going, but they are you snorting?
That's
crack?
torn. It's torn and vaping.
Shit, don't blow it into the camera, so I'm all keeping my head underneath.
But when you do that, it's like, oh, you're.
Like all you see is in here is like
We didn't know what you were doing. I actually lost what I was.
No, it was nothing like that.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to blow the vape in it.
Yeah, but it's just
Sorry.
you get better RPGs, single player games on consoles than you do on PC.
I remember what I was gonna say now.
I don't ever
Oh.
go to the couch to play a console game. And when I'm done gaming with you guys, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with the wife. I don't even do console.
Yeah, some of us.
I
don't
stream
have
media
live-
to the console.
Plus, just straight ease of use. It's plugged in.
I use my PS3 as a media streaming device. That's it. Anymore.
Oh, but back to the topic of hand, what I was going to say was, yes, a lot of games that like RPGs and all those great ones that come on the Sony PlayStation platform. A lot of the companies are actually building their games now for the computer. Like they used to just be like, nope, only PlayStation only. Now it's hitting computers in the same year, it seems, instead of like 4 years down the line. Okay, now it's coming to the PC. It's more to the fact like 3 months down the line, hey, here's a PC release.
That's a podcast for that's a discussion for like a whole podcast right there. I mean, really, because that's the argument of like PC gaming in the early 2000s when
I got a lot to say about that.
and then the Xbox coming out and basically bringing DirectX to consoles, which allowed game developers to develop really cheaply and easily for the Xbox. And then how the Xbox pretty much kneecapped PC gaming for almost 10 years because nobody wanted to design for the PCs. They wanted to design for a console. So,
Yeah, it was the new thing.
yeah.
Everybody's grandma was running down there and getting them 6 games and shit. You know,
And that goes into the aspect of consoles being an easier system to, consoles are perfect for people that just want to buy something and not have to worry about it ever again unless it burns up.
Yeah.
PC is for somebody that wants to be, you actually have to know what you're doing at the computer. You have to know, it's not as hard as it used to be, but console is just take disc out, stick disc in, push play.
Good for 13-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Now, some people would say another perk to consoles, which is, I would say not so true anymore, but for newer titles would be price range versus building a PC or something like.
Yes and no. You can get into huge arguments with that. I think that would also tie into a same topic with what Shadow said before, where
And-
you can build a gaming, like you can actually build a gaming computer same specs as a PS4.
Right.
Shit,
And
you can
it'd
do it
be-
for like $200, $300.
And that's
PS4's
also
dead.
that's like basically everything included, like monitor and stuff too.
see, everybody always says that. I could build a computer that's the same strength as a console for $200-$300. But anytime you build a computer, you spend $800 at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because then you
way
like go
more.
into the thing of like, nah, I want more power. Screw this.
I would say that you could build I think the system equivalent to a PlayStation 4 is like an AMD
Eight processor.
8 processor. So you're looking at $100 for the processor. The motherboard is a variable. You could get a $50 motherboard. It's 8 gigs of RAM.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
right
shared RAM.
there, you're looking at. You could do the statistics of it for $300. The graphics card would probably be your most expensive thing, but if you're looking for a PlayStation, all you got to do is fucking find a $60 to $100 graphics card. You don't need to be pushing for the limit.
And if you're going with an APU route with the AMD, just get one of the cards that actually crossfire with the APU.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
So,
just run off the APU on the
So
chip.
you get that extra 25% increase of gaming.
Remember, when you're dealing with the piece, when you're dealing with the console, you're looking at 30 frame rate cap if you're in most best case scenarios.
And they're not always high quality too. They're not
Yeah.
high
Cinematic
graphics. They're usually
experience.
sitting medium.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like with PC gaming, you're talking at 60 frames per second, like that's your go-to. And when console gaming for TVs, most TVs don't have a 60-second refresh rate, so you're getting 30 frames pretty much standard.
People that usually make the argument that PC gaming is much more expensive, they don't realize that you're not just PC gaming. You're doing all kinds of other stuff on your computer, so you don't need
a computer anyways. Yeah,
you don't need a laptop and an Xbox in order to do your essential functions. You just need a PC and that's it. But I think the games for the PC are a lot more affordable than they are for an Xbox. I don't want to go out and spend $60-$70 every time something comes out. I could just wait.
That goes into a whole other topic also, I think, there.
So the next topic that I wrote down was the PC elitists, which I'm gonna go ahead and just say this flat out. PCs are better, guys. If you're a console fan, whatever, it's okay. But we'll live up to our
Nobody's
standards. You
perfect.
live up to yours. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot to say there. The consoles have their place, and so do PCs, so they're just better than you. Yeah,
I'll put it
just
this
kidding.
way. I PC gamed for a while, and then I got on the 360, and I played a few games on the 360 multiplayer, and the crowd I ended up gaming with, it made me want to stab my fucking ears out over and over and over. These
Are you talking about the
fucking kids that won't shut the fuck.
You don't get a lot of people on PC saying how they're gonna
fucking console
your
kids.
mom.
Oh, little turds.
And
Oh,
so
Little
you
turds.
play-
The parents should unplug their console and beat them over the head. Beat some respect into them.
Like the one time I was on Xbox and somebody came into a chat room and said, "Hey guys, I just had sex and my penis feels amazing." That's a perfect example of Xbox.
I'm
God.
amazed we ever got you back from Call of Duty on Xbox, Boone. I really am.
God.
That was a.
I haven't been 14 in like 26 years. Just got up. Oh, holy crap.
So that's enough of that topic.
Console gaming was a lot better back in the day when it didn't have VoIP.
Dude, before there was console gaming, there was arcade gaming. That's when gaming was gaming.
Arcade.
So that's when it actually had to be careful who you talk shit to because you didn't know if the motherfucker was going to knife you.
well, not even just knife.
Not just the bottom.
You know how you could tell the person that was going to knife you? If they had like 6 quarters on the game already set up, ready to go, you didn't fuck with that dude.
No, you didn't fuck with
That
that
was
dude
his
at all
machine.
because he just kept sitting there playing while everybody else.
That was his machine.
Oh, yeah, the queue system. I forgot about that.
Hey, son.
I haven't been to an arcade in a while where they had the queue
I
system.
don't think there's arcades anymore, but
There are.
There are here.
Don't you
Topic.
think?
They actually
Not where I live, but
they
The mall.
transformed them into bars here. So you actually go and you drink and you play arcade games now.
Yeah.
so they're
Japan
meant
has a lot of
so they're
arcade.
aiming towards that adult audience our age. Yeah, there you go.
It's great. It's a lot of
Japan
fun.
has
That's
arcade.
just what you need: video game violence, anger, and fucking just.
I think
piss
it's
off
called.
and alcohol to
Hey,
make it better.
and
I think it's called like
South of the
16-bit
base.
or something.
And down south, you can take your gun into your bar and drink and play violent video games.
And yet there's
What's the worst that can
Theft
happen?
Auto LAN parties.
and still there's less shootings down south with that than Baltimore City on an average week.
That's probably true.
So
As he drinks from the bottle.
right.
That's way to drink.
So our next topic is PC or console ports to the PC. So who of us have played a port from
Oh,
console?
I think we all have. Who plays Dark Souls?
Rocket League. Rocket League is technically a port, isn't it?
Came out at the same time, I think.
I
Doesn't
think it came out like a week after.
They
the
run like crap because they're made
Not
for
always.
console.
Sometimes they can be very good.
Rocket League.
If you play Dark Souls, that's support.
I play Dark Souls for like an hour with my mouse and keyboard.
You got to get the controller, man. It's
You
so
gotta
much
get
better.
It's so bad with mouse and keyboard. And number
I
2,
do
they're supposed to
okay.
do better on it, but they did worse.
That was 2. It was number 2.
No, number 2. No, let me put it this way. Number 2 is fucking amazing compared to Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 makes me want to claw my eyes out.
Yeah, we just started playing that, and I'm already like, what?
Why is the camera making me look? Instead of dodging where I want to dodge, I dodge right into the axe that's about to chop my fucking head off. It's just
I think most console games that have been ported over for PC, they've done a disservice to the game. There's something always left out.
it's
There's
a
always
man.
Resident Evil remake. That was ported over, technically.
there's just
Once-
always something lacking.
The ones that get me are when they like leave the capped frame rates in. It's
Yeah.
like, do you not
Yeah,
understand?
that's what I mean.
Oh.
They're quick ports. I mean, realistically, a
absolutely.
lot of these games, especially when you're going back like 2-3 years towards the end of the 360 cycle, they were just literally taken, slapped into a PC, configs, and thrown on there. Most of the time, they didn't have configuration. You couldn't change any of the buttons. But in some cases, you couldn't even change like volume and settings, and you didn't even have option menus. They literally just ripped them off the disc, threw them on a PC, and then that was that. They're getting better
Mhm.
because PCs are starting to sell better. But
Well, it's not just PCs are becoming to sell better. It's just you can buy a pre-built PC from like Best Buy and you can use it to game.
yeah,
Just the hardware has gotten to that point where
Or it's cheap enough, or even the pre-builts are pretty decent.
I know this is shunned between all of us here because we all have a dedicated graphics card, but like the integrated graphics cards on motherboards or on a processor or whatever
Well,
is
this-
strong enough to play some games.
this goes back to the other aspect though too, thanks to the consoles becoming so strong and basically bottlenecking PCs. You don't need a top of the line PC to play brand new games. It's not like 2002 where it's like every 6 months a new graphics card came out, and if you didn't buy that new graphics card, you weren't playing the new games because it was using a new engine. I mean, Torn's got an antique computer, and he can
That's
pretty
true.
much play any game out on the market right now and still play it on high settings with no problem.
That's not true.
Well, you can play it on fucking good settings.
I could play Star Citizen on medium, but I'll tell you what, they're
If you
getting
can
so
play,
like
let's just put it that way, right there. You can play
Star
Citizen on-
Citizen on medium looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and that's a really intense game to be playing on, even on medium.
Yeah.
Serious hardware to play it on high and ultra.
I'm just saying, it's like, this is go back with Torn. I mean, shit. You remember back in the day with, man, even Bone too, with America's Army. It's like every time they fucking brought out a new they brought in Ragdoll and you had to buy a new fucking graphics card. Like 2.0 rendering on your graphics card, you couldn't play the game.
Physics.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just like,
Boob physics.
Yeah, but we were there. We were there for at every step along the way when the computers got better and better and better, and so
That's it.
we had to.
yeah, you had to buy everything, man. I remember sitting there like trying to get money together so I could get freaking Battlefield 2 Special Ops, and everybody else is playing it, and I couldn't afford a new graphics card because my system couldn't handle it.
But they don't do consoles. Consoles aren't like PCs. They don't have you can't swap things in and out easily. You have to take what you're given. It's like a
Pop a hard drive pretty easily. I can tell you that much.
Well, that's the new systems, man. But it's still consoles are always like a Polaroid of when they were being designed.
They're the
Not when
best,
they came
almost the best technology
Yeah.
at the time, which is why they're so expensive.
Yeah, and that's usually also the thing is that by the time they actually release, they're usually 3 or 4 years old, technology-wise. I mean, the technology in the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are what was top of the line in PC gaming 4 years ago.
Yeah.
8 gigs of RAM, hello.
8
I got
cores.
16 gigs in here, and it's still I got room for another 16 if I wanted to put the money into it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Do it.
But just gaming, you don't really need more than 8.
It's
Not
getting up
anymore.
there.
Anymore, you do.
It's getting
never
up there. now.
never say no. Never say you don't have enough RAM.
I have 32
You have to
gigabytes.
work
I
within
capped
it,
out my
please don't.
motherboard. I capped my motherboard out. It don't go higher.
Yeah, I'm gonna get 32 eventually. I'm gonna pick up 2 more sticks. I'm just waiting for the price to drop a little bit more.
Psh, it keeps going up. It seems.
And variable. It goes up, it goes down, it goes left, it goes right.
DDR. I would wait until you get a new computer because DDR3 is becoming obsolete soon due to DDR4.
I just rebuilt this last year, so I'm not going for a new computer anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not either. I just built mine this year.
I'm waiting for a new CPU and motherboard, so
Yeah,
that's the only thing I'm replacing.
Back to console because we're going on the fucking PC Elite is showing again.
Anyhow, yeah.
So,
What's the next topic?
We were talking about ports, and I was basically going to ask which ones did you enjoy the most, or what have you played?
Well, Grand Theft Auto's a recent port, technically. That was a good one.
Yeah, probably GTA 5 is the last one I
That
owned.
was a very good port. They did a very good job with that.
Just say it. Just say it.
Obviously, Dark Souls. Dark Souls.
Rocket League.
I never
Souls.
played Dark Souls 2, so I can
Dark
tell you.
Souls. Dark Souls.
Dark Souls
It's
is
awesome.
the game that if you play at night by yourself, hopefully you don't have neighbors.
I don't know if I'd call it scary, but it's definitely a lot of feels.
I think he was referring to the screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
Getting pissed off.
Damn
about
it,
it.
fuck this game.
You turn a corner, it's like turn a corner. Oh, crap! I didn't mean to hit that guy. Boom and ragdoll. And start over. Let's do this again. Don't
So-
take a right. Let's go straight.
Yeah, definitely. I think as far as ports go, the majority of them suck until recently, and I would have to say Dark Souls, Grand Theft Auto are definitely the best ports out for PC right now. And it always helps to have one of these around because if you do have a port that doesn't work correctly,
Yeah, Bone.
with
Why
the
don't
mouse
you
and
have one?
keyboard-
Bone?
Yeah,
I use a
look,
PSP
everybody
controller.
else, man.
You guys with the Xbox, I use my PS3 controller.
I used to use my PS3 controller, but I got tired of fucking doing all the hot fixes I had to do to run
I
it.
can't do the PS.
Dude, I just use
I
SPC.
could use this.
Yeah, I've used
It's
it.
called
What the hell is that?
That's
It's a stick.
Flight stick?
Yeah.
SCP server is what I use for PS3.
this Bone.
After the stream, yeah, hook me up.
So, we're coming down to our last 2 questions, and they're kind of backtracking, but whatever.
I don't think I could play Dark Souls on this. I'm not exactly sure.
I mean,
No,
you could,
Challenge
but
accepted.
Probably be better than the keyboard and mouse.
Oh.
Yeah,
Didn't,
it would be
didn't
broken.
Hey,
within
guys, Ninja, go.
are there any console released games, like exclusive games for console or whatever, that you wish were on PC?
Last of Us.
Yeah, that looked really good.
That looks awesome, and I'm so
It
pissed I
was
haven't gotten to play
great.
it yet.
It was a really good game.
Making it into a movie, so I guess I can see the storyline, but you know how that goes.
Don't worry,
Read the
it's
book.
completely different.
Well, I said before Gears of War, but that's actually coming to PC.
That was on PC. The original was on PC too.
Yeah, but they're putting all of them together as a like remastered HD collection.
That rare. Did you see that? The rare package where they had all of their old games.
Yeah,
I wish that could
we're on that as Conquer.
Battletoads and all those.
That yeah.
I got-
I would say Destiny, but that's kind of back in the mix on the table for Bungie. It might be coming
Bungie
to
won't
PC.
stick it on PC unless
No, it's
somebody
back on
packs
the table for them. They've actually talked about it again after the whole year of its being out. So
Bungie's the one that wanted to put Halo on PC, and Xbox said, or Microsoft said no.
No. That's not the way that storyline
They
it
did
was.
put the original.
Bungie
Anyhow,
hates
They
PC.
did put the original Halo on, and that was a good port.
They put the original Halo on only because people hacked it and put it on PC, so they had to do it.
Well, I think maybe showed Microsoft, look how much money we can make if we actually sell this thing.
Yeah.
I kind
Well,
of
that's,
I would like Star Ocean on the PC.
Give it time; it'll probably show up on fucking Steam
Well,
soon.
now I gotta look
Where
into
is
Star Ocean.
Where is moving all their
Never
games to
played
the
it.
PC
We're
and building
replacing
it for the PC?
You know, the game that I think that they,
Tell us.
and you probably have never heard of this before, but Legend of Dragoon, I love the shit out of that game.
I don't own it. I'm sad.
4 discs, man. And you know what's funny about that? Every time I got to the end of the 3rd disc, the 4th disc was so scratched up I couldn't play it. Or it was broken or something. And I was so
Yes!
pissed off.
Every
So
time.
I've never finished it. Never.
Okay,
the
I'll
same
pull one
dog.
out of the. I'll pull one out of the back. Armored Core.
Yes, that's also a good one.
I'd
know
love to
that-
see a remake of Armored Core for
You know,
PC.
the very first 3D game I ever played was like an Armored Core mech game. It wasn't Armored Core. It was
The Mech
something like
Warrior?
Mech Warrior.
Yeah, I think so. It was the very first one. I remember rockets would go flying past your head.
Yeah, that was Mech Warrior.
It was,
Let's not talk
it was
about it.
unbelievable.
I
got another one.
3D.
This guy right here, my first ever war game. Literally, it's
War
called War
Game.
Games.
Based on the movie?
Shall we play a
What?
game?
Aren't they remaking that movie, by the way?
I don't
Probably.
Of
know.
course they are.
Oh, I wanted to throw a little tidbit in before we were talking about Pokemon. The MMA fighter Ronda Rousey is a huge Pokemon
Pokemon fan.
And Dragon Ball Z.
Pokemon fan. And Dragon Ball
How
Z.
could you
Dragon
not
Ball
like
Z.
DBZ? Honestly,
She's like,
Dude,
That's another one.
she can be a fan of anything she wants to be.
yeah, seriously.
Okay, I got another one here, just for another fucking total nerdgasm. Another game I'd love to see remake that I'd absolutely fucking love to see remake: Monster Rancher.
I don't have that anymore.
Monster
That's one of the games that did not survive my childhood.
Wasn't Monster Hunter supposed to be better than
You know
that?
what?
Monster Hunter is cool.
It's separate from Monster Rancher, though.
I've never played either one of those.
As an FPS gamer by default, I would say that Nintendo 64 GoldenEye was probably one of the biggest defining games in my life.
Didn't they make
I
GoldenEye for like?
spent a lot of time.
They
Play hours on
remade it in Counter-Strike engine, whatever the engine is.
You know, that does actually look kind of similar now that I think about it. Counter Strike and GoldenEye, a little bit.
Isn't Counter Strike Source?
Yeah, I noticed there was a project on Steam for remaking GoldenEye inside the Steam engine, whatever
Source
engine,
engine?
Source engine.
Perfect Dark. Yeah.
That was Rareware. That was their technically their sequel.
That was a sequel, yeah.
Yeah.
So the last question here is: are there any games that you have ever bought or would buy a console for? So have you ever bought a
Yes.
console purely for a game?
Yes.
Yes. I
Yeah.
bought a PS3. I was 360 for the longest time. Bought a PS3 just because of the Final Fantasy 13.
Mine
I
was,
regret that.
That's a rough
Wow.
mine was the
You got to be deep in.
Yeah,
for that.
I waited a year to buy PlayStation 3 for Metal Gear Solid 4. Don't regret it one bit.
I waited multiple years. That's when the first Slim came out, the 120 gig whatever one.
I don't remember. I just remember that I waited until Metal Gear Solid 4 was released, and I bought it day one with the fucking thing, and that's the system back there. And
Metal Gear Solid 5's release date till September.
I'm gonna get it on PC, and I'm probably gonna take off work. That's my like ritual with Metal Gear Solid games. I literally take off
It looks
3 days
amazing.
and I will play it.
You start speedrunning Metal Gear Solid.
I will play it nonstop. I did it with Metal Gear Solid 2. I did it with Metal Gear Solid 3. I did it with Metal Gear Solid fucking 4. So I have to do it with 5. And I would just
Yeah,
sit
it looks
there and
really
enjoy
good.
it.
I thought the original-
Good. No, you're good.
I bought the original Xbox for Halo.
Of course you did.
I did too.
I bought the original NES for Super Mario Brothers.
That game is bomb, man. It's like a classic. How could you not?
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Dude, the original NES? Come on.
The only console that I bought was the one that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream was
Oh!
the 3DS for Pokemon X.
Have a good night, Rhiannon. Thanks for watching, bud.
Even
Dude, they're making a new Star Fox for Nintendo.
I saw that.
Are
What?
you kidding me?
Is that solidified or is this just more Nintendo?
No, I've seen the video.
they showed it at E3.
Nintendo's nice. They're not like Square, where back in PS3 they show off the Final Fantasy tech demo, and then it's like, yeah, we're not gonna do it. We're just showing off what we could do.
Well, it's like I got to bash on Nintendo here. Nintendo's coming out with another remake of a 14-year-old game. My fault. 20-year-old game. I'm shocked.
Come
All
on.
right, so
Don't be
here's the PC elite is coming out on me right now. So I totally built this computer on the sole ability to run Star Citizen. That's it. I mean, that's like the same thing that most of us are probably going to end up doing.
That's
I
what
won't.
to do.
I mean, it's a good excuse for me to upgrade, but that's not the only reason.
Right.
You know how much stuff I can do.
But
with
I was
this?
like, yeah, I can run Star Citizen on medium, but it is really laggy, and so
I have to
just
re-download
go to the
it. It
computer
doesn't let
and I
me
can play it.
patch. It doesn't let me patch, so I got to re-download.
I had a 570 in my old
Splatoon game
computer,
does look cool.
and it would barely run it.
Yeah, I had a 560.
I had the 7970, and I was running barely on high. I think I was able to run on high, just couldn't go a step above, so ultra max settings. I have the Fury X, and I've yet to try it again because I just haven't.
You probably just got to fucking re-download the entire thing.
Yeah.
So, especially if it's been a while, because one of the last updates they did, they told everybody just to delete their previous game and re-download it.
Which might be the best idea anyhow, so.
So, we're gonna go into our closing segment here, where we basically give a thumbs up, maybe, or a thumbs down to whatever the topic is. Tonight's topic, of course, is consoles or console ports. So, what do you guys say for consoles? I'm gonna go maybe.
I'm gonna go to
Done.
diagonal.
He's got a
Done.
45 degree there.
Everybody else?
I'm
think
kind of
they have-
diagonal. Like, I support consoles because they have their place in the world.
Exactly. That's why I'm diagonal.
But
There's a
I'm
purpose to them.
I'm done with them.
there's more stuff that I've been playing on the PC than on the consoles, but they still have their place. But I can't support it 100%.
I can't even vote. I'm a PC elitist. I bought a water cooling. I made a water cooling system for my PC. I own a PlayStation 4. I use it for Netflix. I don't even own PlayStation
So
4 games.
that's I use PS3 for like
Get an
Netflix.
Amazon Fire TV. It's way better for Netflix.
I have
You
one.
and your Fire TV thing playing.
I got fired, dude. I got
fake
fired. but
Frogger.
I
I
use
don't,
Plex
I
anyway.
don't have hatred for consoles. It's just if I'm sitting there and I'm looking at like console games, there's nothing that really makes me go, "Ooh, I have to have this." And the ones that I would go, "Ooh, I have to have this," like Metal Gear Solid, it's coming out on PC. Why? Just PC.
So,
But look, you got a PS4 though. You always make sure you got one. But
I pre-ordered that motherfucker, and I regret it because there's really no need for it.
yeah, I don't.
Very expensive DVD, Blu-ray.
If someone showed up
yeah.
with a Sega Genesis and said, "Hey, you want to play?" I'd be like, "Ooh, let's do this." But like,
Hell yeah.
General Chaos.
Every time.
like if someone showed up with a
Chaos.
PS4, I'd be like, "All right,
Yeah.
well,
That's
put
how it is with the guys I work with. It's like, hey, you want to come over? Sure. What are we gonna do? Gauntlet? Hell yeah.
Yeah, the original.
yeah.
Well, we have it. He's got it for the NES, and he's got it for the N64.
Sega.
can I tell
They
you?
did a speedrun on the new Gauntlet, by the way. It was pretty interesting.
I don't know.
PTO, motherfucker. I don't even know how much these games are worth. They were like $90 when they first came out.
So, yeah, fun times. Anyway, I think that's gonna be the end of our cast tonight. I don't know if you
here's
guys.
There's another one.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys
That's why I
wanted
threw money
to
at that one.
stream
Say that again?
afterwards.
Everybody's getting their own cartridges out. Where are my old cartridges?
Oh, I have too many that I'm not gonna show anymore.
Well, make sure if you guys enjoyed the stream, those of you that are still in the channel, check out our page, the profile that you're watching right now, underneath of About Us.
Yeah,
There are links. There are links to all of our individual channels that you can check out. We stream a lot of stuff, so check that out. It's always fun. Make sure you follow us there. Follow us here too, and watch some more craziness.
We have a Twitter if you want to see when we go live, or a YouTube where you can catch all of our past broadcasts. So, yeah, make sure to look those up as well. They're all linked down below the channel. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we may or may not be back here in like 5-10 minutes broadcasting some goofy game. So,
Some goofy
We
game.
will.
thank you for
Say your names.
watching.
Say your names. Say your names.
I am Ninja.
Shadow.
I'm Outlaw.
T-Bone.
Torrance Hole.
Thanks for watching, guys.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you.